Okay, so lately I've been getting a lot of yapping about what kind of different game genres there are, and what kind of games could you give an example? Well, I'm getting tired of explaining it in person, so I figured I'd just put it all over the YouTube so like everyone can see it. All right. First off, we have games that are like sport themed. Well, I guess you can call them sports games, but not necessarily sports games because they don't have actual professional athletes. A good example is Sega Superstars Tennis. That game, it's using the sport tennis, of course, it's in the name, but it's not using any professional athletes. You can see it's using Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Eggman, Samba de Amigo. Yeah, so that is a different kind of sports game. A real sports game, though, which uses real professional athletes, is something like the Bigs. It's actually baseball, and it's actually using professional athletes. So yeah, we got sports out of the way. And then you got those puzzle games, strategy games, or whatever. I'm just going to use this as an example because I don't really have many of those because I don't particularly enjoy them. And then you got the worst games of them all. You got the ones based on movies and TV. Now, the movie games are usually the ones that suck ass. But surprisingly, this one ends up being a pretty good one. And then there are the ones that are based off TV shows. Only given different... not important about that. Different plot lines, different names, and whatever. But yeah, they usually blow. So, there. And then you got the simulators, which is something, of course, like The Sims. But a good example is, a perfect example is Nintendogs. Basically raising your own damn dog. Surprisingly, it doesn't shit in your house. And then you got the fighters. Now, the fighting games, those are my favorite. I would prefer to play fighters all day. And, yeah. And another example, and then a sandbox game. Sandbox games are those kind of games that people don't usually understand what they mean by sandbox. A sandbox game is, I have a hard time explaining it too. It's a game where you can just basically do whatever the hell you want and it won't affect the game at all. A good example is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, Grand Theft Auto. Motherfucker. And the upcoming game, Infamous, are all sandbox titles. So, yeah. Then you got the shooter games. Now, shooter games are divided into two different categories. There's first-person shooter, which is basically where you're seeing out of that person's eyes. And there's third-person shooter. A third-person shooter is something where you see behind them, like all the action. Like if you're in a armored car or something while they're in war. A third-person shooter example is, of course, Star Fox Assault. Now, I can't give a first-person shooter example because I'm god-awful at those. I can barely play Halo. Actually, you know what? I can't play Halo because I'm awful at it. I'm not good at Call of Duty. Gears of War, I don't try that much, but Metal Gear Solid I can handle. Yeah. And then you got the recently popular that everybody has to have games, the music games. Those games are where you just use a plastic guitar, plastic drums, a plastic microphone, and you sing along karaoke style. Some of them I don't like. Well, actually I like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, but I prefer Rock Band, even though Guitar Hero was there first. But I like the song list better than Rock Band, except for that one song. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't know who it's by, but I don't want to. I think I know who it's by. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble or anything like that. It has the V word. And then there's the action games, such as Mario Galaxy. Action games is just where you're doing a lot of action-y stuff. I guess that's all I can explain there. Then you got like the different kinds of RPGs. You got the RPGs where you mash buttons during a battle, and the ones where you're actually doing the battle. Wait, I think I got those wrong. This is the button masher, and this is the one where you control the battle. Pokemon has been an RPG since 10 years ago when I was 5 years old. All you could do is send out your Pokemon, command it to an attack, use an item, whatever, boom, done. Kingdom Hearts 2, it's one of those ones where you walk around, and then when you get into a battle, you do it yourself. There's no A to attack, or as I should say, X to attack, circle to shield, triangle to dodge. Nope, there's none of that. You gotta actually you gotta press the X button until your finger wears out. Now those are all the examples of those kind of games. Oh shit, I forgot one. How did I forget that fucking one? Oh shit, where's a good example? Where's a good example? Ah! Oh, duh. I forgot too. How stupid am I? I perhaps probably just had one of the stupidest moments I have ever had in history. Okay, there's also the racing games. Control a car, you drive around and hit this stuff. Only it's different with certain racing games like Need for Speed. Sucks ass. Grid, bitchin'. Test Drive. And Mario Kart. And there might be some others, I don't know. But yeah, racing games. Kind of getting popular. Then there's also the real-time strategy. Command your army, command your troops, command your whatever the hell you want to call them. And then you got them. So, yeah. Those are an explanation of all the games. Well, not really all of them. There's still other ones like first-person shooters, but I said I can't demonstrate it because I don't own any. And then there's also those dumb dancer games. Yeah. Yeah, that's all.